The mouth, they're the hand over the mouth, and they're concentrating. They're really having a good look, and they don't actually write any notes because they don't really need to. All the girls know, and they play. You can see it. I don't know why there aren't more women coaches in America. I have no idea, but I know that I would always have a woman coach if I was a university state thing. Get a woman coaching, because that is the way forward for me. I know I'm being controversial, but that is my own view, and I've seen a lot of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you definitely need to be on, I was telling you before, I've got another podcast of shorter ones. It's going to be strictly on women's sports issues to talk about this because and with Title IX now, there are so many more teams playing women's sports in, the NCAA, but the number of coaches is not rising. And part of it, I think, is, and this is a compliment to those women athletes, is that they are now playing so free, and it's a full generation has gone by that they are playing fast and agile and aggressive, that more men coaches are saying, oh, I can, that's kind of how we used to play. I watch these 13, 14-year-old girls on my daughter's club team, and they have better sense than most of us did in high school, 30 years ago. I mean, top to bottom, they are more dedicated, and they weigh less. That's about the end of it.
If I really wanted to be, I don't want to be cruel, but I will. I'll say what I feel. I do believe that some of the a small percentage, probably 30%, I would guess, American male coaches bury their heads in the sand and do not want to know of anything, especially when I come along and say, I can improve your team. No, I know I can see a player. I can do this. I can do that. This is me. A woman, I've had 3 women approach me and said, Brian, I love the way that you write these. I'd love to see if there was a way I could get to work with you. Nothing's come of it, but they've all been women. And I've sent, David, 50 emails out. And all the men, bar 2, never got back to me. Now that's bad.
Yeah, and that's, again, the times are changing. They are. But we are still not where we need to be. And I really look forward to what, my daughter's generation is going to accomplish in this, because we all have so much to gain. I mean, look what you and I are having such a good time here, and without having to play the stereotypical male game. There's no reason for it.
No, it's fact. I've given you basic facts about why me as an assessor and as a scout, look at breaking a team down or look at the strengths and the weaknesses. And I've given you good facts as regarding a woman's way of thinking it and a professional man's coach, a state university coach. They've been doing it for so long, they can't change. Everything's results. It's got to be the same for the woman, but some of these young girls that come out of the women's team, you can see they're technically better. Not only are they technically better, they know their job. That's crucial. Their game knowledge is so much better because they've been sat down and shown how to play this role. Now, I'm not sure that the American males, as a minority of the American males have the time to do that. It's just a shame. They cannot see a player; they just think they can. Hence, Nicole.
Yeah, and I also wonder if the way that, again, I've only seen now for the collegiate level what gets done in the women's game, so I haven't been able to see which coaches, whether it's the head coach or the assistant coach, and how they come together in assessing these players and the talent. But it's a to say the very least, it's more than a developed skill. And again, just we're coming up into our last 10 minutes here, but Give a rundown again, and I'm going to set this up with your scouting reports are stories. When I read Nicole's, I pictured what type of player she was. And yes, you sent me some game film, and to be quite honest, it was
they matched.
They matched, but at the same time, I almost didn't see as much. I saw more in the writing than I did in the video.
Yeah.
And I want you to give those categories in a second, but you mentioned that it takes you 4 hours after you get back home to write up a report. Why does it take you so long if you were there taking notes?
Because what you need to remember is the reports that I do for a professional football club have everything within that game. Everything. They want to know if I'm watching players, that's an easy one. I might be looking at one player, but I'm also looking for anybody that catches my eye. That is what my club tell me. My remit is this player, but anybody that catches the eye. So I do the player, and I do notes as is strength, big broad shoulders, and I just write that. Do you see what I'm saying? Short, stocky, tall, lean, all these things. And then his gait, has he got a funny run? Is he quick? Has he got a change of pace? So this is all second nature to me. So what were you just saying about the reports?
Yeah.
So the reports.
Your reports aren't just a bunch of little words, and there's no numbers.
No, I don't. No, number tells you nothing. They use it in academies. They might have stopped it now, but they do use it in academies. So you say your heading's a 4, your pace is an 8, your strength is a 6. What does that tell you? It doesn't mean anything, David. Your 6 in strength might be my 4.
Exactly.
It tells the player absolutely nothing. Where I actually say, good, hangs in the air. So you can picture the player hanging in the air, powerfully headed away. It goes in with desire. I actually use those descriptive words so that you know how that player, he doesn't just jump up, he drives in from the edge of the box.
And all your words are not compliments. In other words, they're not harsh words.
No. I'm getting paid to do a job. My job is to give my honest opinion on a player. It's as simple as that. Then that's just on a pay report. If I'm doing a team report, I then need to tell them what shape they were. How did they start up? 4-4-2. If they were 4-4-2, who were in the positions of a 4-4-2? Within 20 minutes, they could have changed to a 4-1-4-1. Within another second half, they could have fetched 2 substitutes on and changed again to a 3-5-2. So all these I have to do, and I do it on my computer. I have a little a graph that I do the football things in. Then I have to do all the free kicks, attacking free kicks. But I also have to do, how does this team attack you? Okay, so they have this free kick, that. There might be 8 different free kicks. Then, how do they defend? So then you look at the ways that where players are on a certain area of the pitch when they defend. So how do they play out from the back? Do they play it long? Do they feed the fullbacks? Does the centre back receive? Does he play it the Arsenal way, pass and move, or do they launch it? All these things, and I can't just say it in one sentence. I have to say who does what, who is the main player on the ball, and so that's why it takes a long time. And then on top of that, I have to do all the players that come on the pitch for, let's say it was Ohio State. All the players that was on Ohio State team, I would do a paragraph on. And those paragraphs are for the players. The players that are going to be playing Ohio State in 3 weeks' time don't know who the Ohio State players are. They might know a few. But when I give them, they get my report, they can pick out the goalkeeper. So if you're a striker, you need to follow up on him. He doesn't always get it into his chest. So that little attention to detail could cost them a goal and win us the match. This is the attention to detail. That's why they have every one of them.
As a player, Your confidence has to be up when you're getting not just good information, but information that clearly has come from someone that's watching the whole game.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's why the gaffer lets them see they only see the individual little paragraphs of the team, so they can match up. If a fullback's playing against the winger, see what he does. He always goes on the outside. Very rare crosses with his left. All these little things. And I normally like to put 2 or 3 strengths and a couple of weaknesses. One of the weaknesses might be he doesn't like a heavy challenge. You'll get a reaction. This is a multi-million-pound industry. And so I'm not saying kick him. I'm saying just make sure you're going quite firm, because it will put this player off. And there are players that it will put off, and there are players that you'll get a reaction from. So it's giving them the edge, David. That's a better way of putting it. I've given Nicole the edge. I gave the players and my team the edge. That's all I do.
Well, and all of us who have ever played, a season for in any sport, when you feel you have an edge, even if it's not real, okay? If you feel you have one, it gives you some control. It gives you confidence. You stop thinking about all the things that are going wrong, and you just start playing. And then you start, and you remember, okay, this is what my game needs to be. I need to focus on these 3 things for sure. And it just, everything goes well from that. I used to get scouting reports, and they would say things, and I would, in fact, in high school, I was on we'll call it the second squad for basketball, because I'm not very tall. But I used to run the other team's offense and defense, so my coach would give the information. Sometimes it was pretty good, but some days you'd look at it and it was, I don't understand what this team's trying to do. And I was always pretty good, because not being tall and not having a big shot, I had to know my role and do my job.
Do your job, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember there were days when I'd get a scouting report and I would just look at it and say, I don't know how to help you out here, coach. You're describing some players, they do some things, but I don't, in my squad, and these half of them were still my friends today, we would say, we got a job to do. Here's how we have to make our team look bad today, so they'll look good in the next
David, those set plays and the way that they set up, are the players are taken through all this. Just remember, it's not just my report. We would have watched this team 3 times.
That's right.
Within 6 weeks. So then you've got a culmination of 3 different scouts. But because of the level the scouts are at, all those reports will be right on you'll see they all look the same. As long as the players, within reason, within that 20%, they should all be the same. They should all say the same in general. And that's what you have to report, what you see. It's as simple as that. And getting back to my mentoring, if I can, for 1 minute, David.
Yeah.
It's not all about me saying, hey, well done, Nicole, well done, Tilly, that's just what I want you to see. Sometimes, and I've said it to Nicole, and she will not mind me telling you, I've said to Nicole, so how do you think you played today? And I think I did all right. I said, well, I'm telling you, that wasn't good enough, love. That wasn't you. It wasn't even close to being you. So you need to think about your game, young lady. You was half a yard off the thing. Your drive wasn't there. She said, yeah, but I took a knock. Okay, but I could see it. I see it straight away. And I have got no problems in telling them, because they know I'm telling them for them to be consistent. So I'm not always going to say, hey, great. But when I do, David, you see the confidence level of these players.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they know I mean it. But they also know that if I need to tell them off, and I'm putting that nicely, I will. I will tell them. And they will take it because of the relationship that we have.
Right, and I think that's the thing. You can't come in loud and expect trust. But if you get the trust, they'll accept loud and brutally honest. And even, we all have our bad days, like with my kids. I'll say things, I'm like, man, that was harsh, not a line. But that's not how I usually am, so the kids will they'll deal with it. Now, but I want to go back to the when you told them what she had to do.